Grimwald, you recognise this dagger. It's Oleg's.
No.
This is a simple dagger. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Apparently so. Can I please have that dagger? I want to.
Yeah, I hand it over.
I step out of the room and go to Oleg. And I'm like, Buddha.
Yeah?
I sort of pass it like under the table. Can you explain to me why is your dagger doing Brutus's back?
Is that my dagger?
Yes. You look on your side for your own dagger. It's not there.
Oleg pats himself down. Yeah, I seem to have misplaced it. Aha, thank you, I'm so silly. Where did you find it?
Yeah, Buddha, you and your jokes. We found it in Brutus's back and this is very serious. What the fuck?
Come again?
We found it in Brutus's back, Buddha. Now, I know you didn't I didn't know you wouldn't avenge me for losing in arm wrestling contests, but...
That is interesting because I haven't moved from this spot.
Yeah, I know you
since
haven't.
A while.
Yeah, so how about we go back? Because we all might be in danger and let's stick together, yeah?
But how am I in danger if I'm the one killing everyone, eh? Oleg winks at Grimval.
Buddha, this is not the time to be...
I knew you would say that.
to be joking around. Come with me, yeah, please.
Haha, you are always joking.
Buddha, I will make sure you never see boats again in your life. Come with me now. And they sort of yank him.
You were being serious? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I'm being curious.
Oleg gets dragged along. He also...
Pick up Oleg as well.
Yeah, we're gonna carry Rogel
Okay.
with us.
So you're all going into the back room?
Yep.
Okay.
Going to the back room.
An inspection of the back room, for those of you that have been there a little while. Shauna, you'll have noticed that there are quite a few crates in the back. These mostly seem to contain a mixture of food, grain, some cloth and furs, a mixture of goods, basically. All sorts. Anything you can think of that a merchant ship might be sort of carrying. This is sort of like a jumble sale of goods. That it doesn't seem to be for any one particular industry.
Can I pack just very quickly some food in my backpack just to have for a later day?
You can pinch a bit and fill your pockets. Around the walls there are also 2 cannon ports, but no guns attached to them. So these are about 2.5 feet square cutouts on the wall, which is where the majority of the mist that is currently filling the room is coming from.
Am I able to see out of it at all, or is there so much mist it's literally just mist?
You can see out about 2 foot.
Okay, and with my bad vision, I'm not going to be able to see
Yeah, like you wouldn't be able to see. If there was someone 6 feet away, you wouldn't see them. We're talking like the mist film here.
Yeah, super, super thick fog.
Very thick, yep. Before she leaves, Romilda says, "Look, find whoever did this, and I'll give you a gold crown if you manage to deal with them for me, or find out who did this, and try and keep them alive. I'd like to take them to the authorities, but if you have to murder them, I guess I'll put up with that."
By simple process of elimination, it probably wasn't the other big one. Wasn't the priests. I doubt it was any of those ruffian crew members. There was that masked man who went upstairs, and then there's those other 2 individuals to the left of the bar, or to the right, yes, to the left of the bar that no one has spoken to. The whole thing seems very suspicious.
At this point, you can hear Romilda step out and announce to the room, "My champion was attacked. It was awful, but fortunately, a miracle healer has come to save the day. Praise Shalia. All is well. He will be fine come a few days." And you can hear Sharis behind, "Yes, he's completely fine."
And now we wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two people in the corner with the hoods, I don't think they ever came close enough to me to nick my dagger. So, what does that leave?
During the fight, you weren't necessarily watching them, so while you were throwing punches, you
He's
wouldn't.
saying what he thinks.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, totally.
I was able to witness whatever was going on, and I didn't see any of them move.
I would say
wasn't
between someone throwing a punch at you and Brutus, you wouldn't be confident of that in meta speak here. Because you would have been facing north and they would have been behind you, at least for, I don't know, 20 seconds. But
Yeah, fair
equally, your impression from a character has just been them sat there.
enough. Did I notice that they were sitting close to each other
Yes.
during the fight?
Unusually close.
I relay that information.
I think it was that masked man who went upstairs, up on the top deck.
Well, good luck in finding him because me and Sean are not able to.
If you went looking for him, he must be gone already.
Yeah, but where could have he gone off to? We are...
The mist is approaching. He can't go far, even if he
Yeah.
wants.
But even if he cannot go far, it means it'd be difficult to find if the mist is so thick.
True. However, it's more dangerous to stay outside in the mist than to actually be here with us.
We
Well, it's we also have Rogel who's out. We need to make sure that he is at least safe somewhere.
We can put him in a crate. No one will find him.
Sure.
We just leave a little.
There's
Can we,
enough.
like,
Yeah, there is enough
put him
crates
somewhere
to.
and- Yeah.
You can make him a little crate fort quite easily. There's a lot of boxes here, and with the fog as well, like you could hide very easily.
Fort kick ass.
Hydra, have I dried enough black powder to make load one round?
Yeah, you'd be pretty confident that you could do so.
Okay, yeah, I'd take some time and just finally dry one small little pouch of one shot worth of black powder and load my blunderbuss.
Okay.
If anybody comes in the room, I will deal with them.
Yeah, so are we just holding up in here with the corpse, or should we do what the fancy
think-
lady wants?
Half of us stay here, half of us go and do the thing.
I can protect the corpse and Rogel if you'd like.
I will
Not
go
much
with the lady.
would come between me and my blunderbuss.
By now, it's about midnight. You would estimate. It's got pretty late. Grimvald and Shauna in particular, you are at the point where you're starting to nod off. Like if you sit still for a few seconds, your head starts bobbing. Seeing as you both have a fatigue condition from not getting a proper night's sleep the night before, you've kind of been up for 48 hours, but with a 3-hour nap in the middle. So you're feeling a bit crud right about now.
Well, I guess it would be time to change sleep schedules and whatnot, organize so we get a full night's rest. Otherwise, we're gonna be shit and
So
useless.
I propose me and Grim just go to sleep if we can. And one of you watch all of us, and the other one go watch the lady, so that she isn't the next target.
I can stay up and watch the cargo hold. The chokehold of the door will be very easy to cover with my gun.
So that leaves me to babysit the knob, huh? Regrettably. Begrudgingly, not regrettably. Shuffles out through the cargo hold back towards the lady.
Okay.
Come on, Grim, time for night.
Ah, yeah, the fabled sleep.
And what are you doing with his body while you're there?
It just stays there. Oh, we can just put it in a bed or somewhere where it looks like he's actually sleeping and not dead.
Roll it on. There are a few bedrolls kicking around the ship, so you roll him on his side. Yep, it seems to be. Looks pretty good. Right. Okay, so Oleg, you're watching the lady?
I guess, yeah.
Do you want to roll me a charm test? Have plus 20, because she's not got anyone else to talk to now other than the halfling.
Poor thing. Does red clap affect charm? I don't think it does.
I'll say the fog's bad enough that she can't see it. If you sit, like, opposite the table, she's not going to be able to make out the fact you've got the pox.
Okay.
But if she had a clear line of sight to you, she would be repulsed and vomiting right now.
Well, that's any given day.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a normal Sunday.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Sure. Ah, there we go. She has a chat with you over the next hour or two. Tells you a few sort of simple stories and explains to you her family, her trade. She's one of the nobles from Molenfurt, and at a fairly recent party and wedding, she had accusations made against her from a rival family who have attempted to dirty her name with infidelity accusations and things of that nature. Something that she finds infuriating. You can read from her facial expression. So she has challenged them to a duel to the death to prove her innocence, as is the way that will sometimes happen, and they're doing so within the capital to make a spectacle of it. You know that she is primarily, her family is a trading family, so she trades back and forth between Altdorf, Bogenhafen, and Molenfurt. And in particular, you pick up in conversations she has fairly close ties to Bogenhafen, and the noble families there as well. They mix and mingle in the same circles.
Ah.
At least that sort of catches your attention.
It does.
Meanwhile,
Oleg.
no, over to you.
I was just going to mention Oleg would have mentioned at least that he could introduce her to where the local pit fighters and stuff are in Bogenhafen if she needs to pick up a new champion.
Yep. Okay. So, with this being said, Shauna, Grimwald, you both drop off to sleep, I assume?
Yep.
Beginning your rest. Okay. It's, again, roughly about 12 o'clock, so you've got a good few hours potentially ahead of you. Hi, Mo.
One thing I do before I really set up shop and just get comfortable and watch over everybody, I'm gonna stick my head out through the gun port and
Yep.
just close my eyes and take a big deep breath of the air, and I just want to see if I can hear anything. I just want to see what I can gauge around through the fog. I can't see anything.
Yeah.
I've always relied on my sense of hearing for this
Okay.
sort of thing. So I'm gonna just sort of see what I can hear aside from just the creak of the boat.
Roll a perception test, and I'll give you... Instead of giving you a bonus, I'll give you access to more things than you would otherwise normally.
Okay.
Okay. So you listen in, and there's the sound of the boat creaking gently as it's just moved back and forth very, very softly. The tiny little occasional creak. Sound of the water lapping against the ship. A little bit of soft wind in the background, but not much. Aside from that, nothing catches your attention.
Okay, I take one more nice deep breath and come back in. I probably sit down, maybe right. Where's the doorway to this back area? Is there
The doorway is basically where you're stood.
Okay, if that's the case, I'm gonna move back into this corner.
Yep.
I'm just gonna sit down with my blunderbuss in hand, kind of pointing in the general direction of the doorway.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna probably keep drying some black powder. I have some powder in a bag in my lap that I'm just kind of swinging around in the air just to see if I can dry it out a little bit. And I'm just gonna stay there.
Okay.
And wait.
Through the night, so how's the shift pattern going to work? Are you basically offering to do an all-nighter to guard this, or are you waking the others up after a certain period of time? And the others can chip in here as to what your plan was.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't realize it was muted. I'm going to stay up as long as they want to sleep.
Make an endurance test.
Okay.
You've been running all day. And the day before. And the night before. So this is basically... Nice. So you're able to stomach your way a good way through the night.
Okay.
And are you just staying in that one spot?
I am, yeah. I'm just holding watch over the doorway, and then on occasion I watch the gun ports as well for a minute or two, but most focus is just on the
Now
doorway.
you'll have to move around the room to do so, because your vision is about 4 feet, which doesn't even span from one side of the room to the other. This
yeah,
is...
if that's the case, on occasion I'll get up and just do a slight pace of the area, and I'll just go back and sit in my spot here again and watch over the door.
Okay. Right. As you do so, are you... So I have your route accurately in my head to be a fair GM. So your planned route is basically back and forth between the 2 gun ports, and then sit and look at the door, kind of. Okay.
That's pretty much it. Yep.
The hours go by, and all seems to be clear. You hang on with your best efforts to try and stay awake, and it's hard work. You find your head nodding occasionally, but you're able to move around the room every now and again. Grimwald, Shauna, a few hours pass. You can remove the fatigue condition because you did get some sleep the night before.
The alcohol condition.
Yep.
Is that too?
Yes, yeah, you'll be able to sleep off 1 drink very easily. Oleg, it's about time we rolled for your rat fever. Are you sleeping at all tonight, or the lady at this point basically sleeps at the table, just leans on it?
Oleg will be trying to stay awake.
Okay, roll me an endurance test.
Difficulty level?
Minus... it's 10 for the rat fever. For it's just 10, I think.
Okay.
For you, yeah, because your ankle doesn't affect it. Nice. You're able to stay awake a good portion of the night. Nodding off every now and again, you perhaps get 10 minutes here and there. Now let's roll your rat fever and just see exactly how you're feeling today. Go over to my compendium, and we go to... Oh no, I put this in journal. There we go. Rat fever. So, start off with, we have -10 to all physical tests anyway. Now we have your fever. So, now to medication. So you have -10 to all fellowship tests, as you can... Oh, no. An endurance test again for me, please. Just to see if you can shake off the fever.
-10 again?
Yes. Ooh, ever so slightly. You do succumb to a bit of a fever, which is going to be -10 to fellowship. Just about. Like, you've just got a little bit of sweats. It's not bad, but people might notice if they examined you closely. Aside from that, the other things are more or less automatic, and we have... Yep, no treatments available, so fine. Moving on.
How much HP do we restore for taking a night's rest?
That is a good question. I think it's an endurance test plus your toughness bonus.
Endurance test.
So Grimwald and Shauna will be able to benefit from this. Oleg, not so much. So you still, I believe you still heal your toughness bonus, but...
Hold on, I'll check. Wow.
Yeah, just let's have a double check of that. Unfortunately, that's one of the few things I haven't created a shortcut for. Let's bring this up and have a look. Okay, heal. It's either 123 or 181.
123.
Also,
Heal.
I removed I can't. I seem to be retarded.
For each full day the patient spent resting, no, that's not it.
I don't think it's 123, so I think it's 181.
Okay, I found out how.
You found it?
I
Okay.
found how to remove conditions.
It's a plus 20 endurance test. After a good sleep, you heal wounds equal to SL plus toughness bonus for each day you... for each time you take
So
it easy.
Okay, so basically I'm gonna re-roll that if I can.
Yep, you're allowed to. So, Shauna, you will be toughness bonus. Did you do plus 20 for the test, Shauna?
So that's plus 1.
Plus 1, so your toughness bonus plus 1 is how many wounds you gain.
Yeah.
And Grimvald, did you do the plus 20?
Yeah.
Okay, toughness bonus minus 1, but better than nothing.
Better than nothing, I guess.
Right. I know. It's about
Yes.
4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
You're still awake. Hanging in there. It's very dark. There's a little candle that lights the room. You hear a thud above you.
Like directly above me?
Yeah, it sounds
On
like
the
someone
upper
dropped
deck?
something on the deck above you.
Okay.
About 10 seconds goes by. You hear another thud.
Alright, this one sort of caught my attention. I stand up.
Make a perception test. See how much extra info you can get.
Oh god. Is that a crit fail? Does it work the same way as
You don't die.
Okay.
That's the good news.
You listen too hard and your head explodes.
my ears pop?
Yeah, burn a fate point. You hear the occasional thud, but you can't make out what it is. Maybe someone's dropping things upstairs on the deck. It's kind of hard to
I'm
tell.
just assuming they're doing some loading of boxes and moving stuff around like we've been doing the whole time. I don't really think anything of it because I'm also extremely tired too. So I just sit back down and just assume it's regular ship work.
Okay. Continues for about a minute or two. You estimate there's about 15 in total. And
Okay.
then silence.
Alright.
Okay. The silence is a few minutes long. Eerie, if anything. And then a noise that you cannot ignore. It sounds like someone is weeping. You listen and focus for a second, and you can hear it outside of the window, but you get the impression it is above deck. It sounds like the cries of a woman weeping.
Yeah, I'm going to head to the gun hole, which seems to be closer.
Yep.
And put my head out and see if I can hear any more detail from that position.
Okay. You approach the port. You stick your head out and listen in intently. And it sounds like a soft sob.
Does it seem to be coming from above deck?
Yes, yes, it does. You get
And not somewhere off in the distance.
No, it is above you. You get the impression it is the ship above you, the deck above you, rather.
Okay. I'm gonna sit back down and just keep listening. I'm probably gonna sit. Do I have a line of sight on the door if I sit by the gun hole for this one where I'm at?
Yep, you can see the gun port.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just stay here and keep watch. But as I'm trailing my blunderbuss on the door opening, I'm just gonna have almost all of my focus on the sounds coming in through the gun hole.
Okay. The weeping continues. A minute passes.
Am I awake at this point?
You're out cold right now. It's like 4:30 in the morning, so you've had like 4.5 hours sleep, but you're going to be... It's definitely not loud enough to wake someone, because it's quite a soft noise. But this noise is interrupted by something a little louder. A splash beside the ship. Sounds like someone's dropped something into it. It's come from the port next to you, Jaime. Oh, it's come from the gun port next to you.
Okay, I'm gonna stick my head out of the gun port and with my poor vision, I'm gonna see what it was.
Okay.
If I even can.
One perception test. This is about 2 feet below you, so you'll be able to make out some stuff, but.
Okay. +2.
You look down beneath, and it looks like a body floating in the water.
I'm going to quickly shuffle over to Grim.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna rouse both Senna and Grim.
Okay.
Quickly. I'm just gonna motion them over towards the gun hole. There's a body just tossed into the water.
What?
Yes. Was it close enough for me to be able to like reach out and grab it to prevent it from
You
dripping away?
could maybe lean out. You can make a test to do it.
I'm not gonna risk falling in the water because I have a slight fear of swimming.
I'll say you could maybe take a pole and bring it a bit closer, but you're going to have to lean out the window down about 2 or 3 feet. So you're going to have, and then the weight of a wet body is going to be.
Yeah,
I
guess probably not realistic to be able to drag it in, even if with the pole, even if I could just like sort of spin it in the water and just see who it is.
Yeah, you can take a second to do so. Shauna and Grim coming to the body of Brutus laying on the floor right now with a layer of mist overlaying it, really, or almost even obscuring vision of his body. You use a broom handle that you find, turn the body over, and it appears to be one of the deckhands. And now, by the time the three of you are next to the window, you can hear, all three of you, this sobbing from upstairs.
The sobbing has been going constantly.
Is it a female sobbing or a male sobbing?
It's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't leave any damsel in distress, so I guess we could leave Vogel. I'm just gonna open it secretly and check if he's fine.
He's stopped snoring now, which is helpful. Yeah, he's still hidden there. He's kind of sucking on his thumb right now. Curled up in the fetal position, but...
All he needs is a wizard onesie.
Oh my god.
With a tiny hat.
Yep.
And he's already wearing those outfits according to his token, so...
Yeah.
I guess we could go and check, even though it might not be the best of ideas, but crewmen flying out, well, dead.
If you want to investigate, I can stay here and make sure no one comes and screws with the corpse and with Rogol.
I mean, you know, the Game Master is going to give us much more XP if we go explore, so let's go.
Yeah. So, Grim, get ready your bow, just, and I take out my sword.
Oh, you will be one taking the front. Oh, I am very impressed, Shauna.
Oh, it's just in case. I ain't doing nothing.
Okay, I'm going to ready the bow.
Okay. What do you? Anything else to do before you leave?
I'm gonna leave my backpack stored next to Rogel.
And I am going to pray to Ronald and say, Ronald, I know this is one of your tests, and I shall succeed.
Okay.
And accomplish it.
Shauna, you find yourself nearly tripping over the body of Brutus as you do. His the mist obscuring the most of the vision to it, but it's sort of the side of his hip kind of sticks out a little bit. Rogel's kind of hard to spot in there. It takes a few moments to sort of waft the air to one side to get a view, but you confirm he's still sleeping and resting.
Okay, let's head out.
Okay.
Let's head out and search for clues, gang.
Let's find Oleg first. See what the situation is.
Okay. There's a sound of light snoring coming from the main chamber. You see Romilda draped over a table. To the left, the two hooded individuals, basically cuddled up in a corner with one cradling the other. It would be fairly sort of reminiscent of a man, a slightly larger individual holding a slightly smaller, so maybe parent and child, or lover and lover, perhaps. Behind the bar, you can hear a little bit of snoring as well. Everyone else seems to be quiet. The only noise really comes from the other side of the ship, where you can hear a very melodic and gentle praying coming from the ladder, which you had come down. Oleg, you'll have been listening to this for some time.
And it is boring, I tell you.
What's the situation around here? Oleg?
Everybody's sleeping, and there's some the two brothers. They're off praying. Probably so the body doesn't come back and eat us. Ooh.
Oh, did you hear the big splash?
A big what?
A big splash in the water.
No.
Well, there's a dead guy, one of the crew members.
Ah, the crew, huh? Then maybe you should go tell the captain.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. You stay here.
Okay.
Guard the noble lady.
Guard the money, yeah.
Yeah.
She's sleeping, right?
She's out cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holler if you need us.
Oh,
So-
I will.
You make your way to the ladder, where you meet the two individuals still praying. Did you adjust your wounds, Grim?
Yep.
Damn.
I have only 3 toughness.
But
So 2
not
wounds.
everyone is coming.
Who's staying?
I think I'm staying. Back
You're staying.
Yeah, I thought I was.
Also, Oleg is staying, watching over Romilda.
Oh, two. Okay, if that's the case, I'll end up going as well.
Airsick is just low-key
Hinting.
giving us meta information that we all need to be present.
Yeah.
No. It depends what you want to happen. You
Umbrella
could
would
stay.
like
You
not
could
to
stay.
die.
You could stay. Like, I'm not telling you which one's the good option.
But it's obviously better if we go up, yeah? It's much more entertaining.
Ye who goes forwards will find more things.
Yay.
Yee.
Ye who does not wait will probably miss things. There is no right or wrong. But what there is 2 men praying, one of which Harold seems to be sort of drifting in and out of it and sort of running through the motions, a bit like someone that's sort of doing a choir hymn that he doesn't really want to be singing, just sort of da-da-da-da-da-da-da, the dead. You don't really understand the words. It seems to be a language unfamiliar to you. As Humbert, however, seems to be knelt over the body and doing so with a little bit more finesse and concentration. All right. And with that, you head upstairs to investigate.
Head upstairs.
The group of you head up the ladder. It is quiet. There is a faint sound of sobbing coming from the background. The rain coming through the mist is a little lighter than it was before, but still cold against your skin. And there doesn't seem to be anyone else around you. Not that you can see further than 2 feet in front.
I just yell, Yoo-hoo! Crying lady! Would you like some Grimwald for tonight to cheer you up?
I slapped Grimwald on the head.
Yeah, it is not funny, brother.
What? It might be a really funny spirit for all I know.
Hey, how about you go first then, eh?
Okay, I just did.
I will go. I have my blunderbuss raised and I slowly edge myself down the deck.
Okay.
this.
I'm moving forward and like I'm trying to.
Just pause there a sec, guys. There are a few whispers coming from the fog now. You've moved in a little bit. There is conversation of a language you don't understand. Still sobbing. It's coming from
Does it
forward.
sound like the similar language that the two brothers were...
Make an intelligence check.
Just a second.
Minus 20.
Yeah.
I like the sounds.
Yeah, you don't speak many languages. Just thought, I'm afraid. So
Can,
Yeah.
can I make a check to see if this is something that, as a river guide, Oleg would have run into before?
sure, make a law
Or if
riverway.
it's normal to the fog?
Make a law riverway.
The thing I'd like to check with the sound is this sound remind me of the sound that I heard when my retinue got eaten by undead?
Intelligence test for you as well. Plus 10.
Okay.
It sounds like Agony, the game. Only we don't see anything of the cool shit happening.
Imo, it doesn't sound like the beasts that tore into your cavalryman and horse.
Okay.
It doesn't seem familiar, but at the same time, it gives you a very uneasy feeling. Oleg, do you want to roll me your sixth sense just to see what?
Intuition?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
to see if your stomach has that horrible sinking feeling. No, you feel fine.
Feels
It's
fine.
nice and safe.
I'm on a boat.
I
What can
would-
go wrong when you're on a boat?
Point out at this point, you've not seen any crew. Not a single individual as you've walked past.
I'm gonna start stomping on the deck. And wake up! Wake up!
I'm going to go forward a little bit
Yeah.
and tell guys. I think we should wake up Captain Bob also because it is his crewmen, and he said if his crewmen are missing, then he would probably care a little bit more.
As you walk
Yeah.
forward, on your
Go ahead.
right-hand side, Grimvold, just directly south of you at the moment, appears to be where the sobbing is coming from. And looking there, you can't see, but it looks like someone is stood facing away from the boat.
So they're down here
Yes. And
south.
pause
I slowly
there,
walk and I
please.
yell,
I follow.
guys, the crying is coming from here.
the-
Let's see who
The two of you can pause where you were, and pause right there.
Okay.
You see in front of you, Grimvold, a red-headed individual. You can make out the hair vaguely, but it's translucent. It's hard to make contact with. You can see part of the banister through the actual bust of this individual.
I have two questions. One,
Yes.
how spooked I am, and do I poop my pants? And two, how big is the bust?
Well, she turns around. Chest. C cup. But make a terror test.
Sea cup, because she's from the sea.
Arr, a nautical cup.
That'd be a cool check.
Yeah, a cool check. A cool
Hold
check,
on,
sorry.
let me open
Grimvold.
them.
No, only Grimvold's seen it.
Okay.
Grimvold, you gain 3 broken conditions
Oh,
as you are paralysed in fear right now. Seeing this ghastly visage of a face that seems to have aged hundreds of years, but a body that still looks fairly youthful. But this creature isn't making contact with the floor. It seems to be floating as it twists around towards you and makes no noise other than a soft inhale of air as it gasps and reaches out toward you. Right.
Considering I get 3 broken conditions, which by the way, can you set?
Yes.
Because I don't know which one of these is the.
We'll do that. There isn't actually one that's dedicated for broken. Right, and on that note, we are going to click a few buttons. Da-da-da-da.
Does this mean initiative?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We will go boop, There we go. And Grimval will be a -1. The order changes, or doesn't change rather. But yes, I have factored you in. Olegs, you don't know what's happening right now. So are you still walking or stepping anywhere? Or are you just sort of looking about? Mr. Oleg.
Bruder. I'm sorry, I was muted.
You're not technically in combat. Grimvald's made no noise whatsoever, but I just want to know what you're doing right now. He's not made any noise.
Question is if he had made noise.
Well, I'm scared shitless, so I'm just gasping for my breath erratically.
Yeah, he's not screamed yet. On his turn, he will scream.
Well, Oleg will then continue going towards the captain's cabin, which he would know would be towards the back of the ship.
So that would basically be the edge of the cabin would be there. You're at this point at the door of the cabin.
Hello.
Do I have an action to knock? I think I would, right?
Yeah, you could step forward, knock on the door. A small slot slides to one side. You see Captain Barbossa's eyes the other side lock with yours. Hello there, laddie. See you've decided to brave the ship. Good luck to you. Slides it back shut.
What?
Slides it back open for a second. Run. No. Slides it back open. You better start believing in ghost stories. Because you're in one. And slides it back shut again. Grimvald, in front of you. This creature reaches out toward you. Attempts to lock arms with you and touch. Broken right now, which I don't think allows you to make an opposed test. That will be a touch. And that will be a... Let's have a see. That's a successful touch and 7 damage. With +1, 8 damage.
So that's reduced by armor.
Armor and toughness.
Just give me 1 second. It's probably just 4. Where does it hit me?
It hits you in the body. So it basically reaches its hand out toward you. And it doesn't swipe. It just simply touches your body. The hand seemingly touching and moving through the armor. And you can feel your chest plate turn to an ice cold. You feel your skin underneath start to sort of almost frost over, like you've fallen asleep in the snow. It hurts. And
it hurts.
It is your turn.
So it's broken 3. Hold on. Your turn, if you panic or otherwise convinced you're going. On your turn, your move and action must be used to run away as fast as possible until you're in a hiding place.
Your options are to run or to spend a resolve to ignore psychology for the turn.
No, I'm gonna run away. Fuck this shit. I ain't made for this.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna start running. She probably gets an opportunity attack as soon as I leave.
She will. Yes.
Is he screaming at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm screaming.
He'll be screaming at this point.
Oh, is there something there that touched me?
Right. That's another 9 damage, modified by armor and toughness to
And they fall
your
down.
head. Okay. So you're broken and prone.
It stops at 0, right?
It stops at 0. Did you just hit 0, or did you go negative?
No, that would be. Just give me 1 second. So that's 9 total minus 4, 5. I had 3, so that's -2.
-2. Okay. So we have our first critical roll. Critical head. Okay. / table crit head. You have a dramatic injury. She reaches out as you're going to move away and just grazes the back of your head, and you feel this icicle cold pain stab through it. It seems like a portion of your side of the scalp starts bleeding down your neck as you fall to the ground. And once the wound is healed, so basically you have a bleeding condition now. So the way this works is you're now prone and bleeding, and you can use resolve to remove conditions if need be. So you can use a resolve to stand up or use a resolve to remove the bleeding, but you're essentially bleeding out now, so we'll be rolling a dice on each turn to see if the bleed out kills you.
I'll just use the resolve to remove the bleed.
Okay, 1 resolve used. So you're still laying down at this point, and you are asleep. So, well, no, actually, you are conscious. You're just prone. Shauna, you heard where the scream came from. You see Grimvald run and fall to the floor as he's moving away from some shadowy figure. What are you doing?
Well, I've never seen Grim run like that except for the big ass dragon fly thing.
Jaroslav.
Jaroslav. So I get concerned, tap Jaimo on the shoulder and say, I think we better run. And start moving towards Grim. Would it be an action to pick him up and try to carry him back?
You can get, I'd say you could get halfway to the door. So you could probably get to here with him by the time you've moved. And bearing in mind you can only see a couple feet in front, so sprinting is kind of ill-advised.
Plus I'm carrying someone who's heavier than me, so...
Indeed. I'd say... Yeah, we'll roll with that for now. We could probably make tests out of it, but not today. Right, and Jaimo, you've seen screaming. You've seen Grimvald turn and run away. Actually, apologies. Grimvald would have fallen down where he was hit. So we're going to have to just rewind to Shauna's go there. Do you want to drag his body? I'll give him a distance of 1. Do you want to start dragging him away?
Would I be out of touch with the bench?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'd say given that he will have fallen forwards as he's moving away, yes, he basically fell just outside of melee range, so you can still drag him. You don't get vision on what this is.
Yeah, I don't care at that point.
Jaimo, it's you to go, buddy.
So I assume I don't see either?
You see where it came from. You, at this point, would maybe see a little bit of an outline of someone, but no detail whatsoever.
Okay. So the way that actions work, is there a move and an action?
Yeah, you get 2 separate, so you get a movement and an action.
Okay.
And you can draw a weapon for free, basically. Well, technically...
I'll draw my blunderbuss.
Yep.
And I'm going to follow. I'm going to follow the Grimmy and Shauna.
Okay. So you're preparing a shot, getting ready.
Yeah, I'm like backpedaling with my weapon trained on where I think the crying's coming from through the fog.
Okay. Oleg, what are you up to?
Buddha.
Let's see. Oleg was there.
Let's try this music.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's a bit more drama.
So Oleg doesn't see them running off.
You will have heard, but
He
not
heard
seen.
the scrambling. So I guess at this point he would just move briskly to catch up, but not fast enough to upset his leg.
Make a perception test. This is to see if you know where they ran.
Okay.
Because you can't see them right now.
Is perception considered a...
Take a flat, because he would have been screaming just before he fell, at least. Okay, you get the impression they were heading back the way you came.
Okay.
Okay, so you're able to do as you please?
Yep. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there.
Okay, and any action?
Can I light a torch?
You could quickly try and spark up your storm lantern with a match.
No oil.
Do you have a torch on you right now?
Yes.
I would say it's raining, but you could try and do it. I'd make a test for it.
Okay. Survival? That's a thing? Yeah.
Yeah,
survival.
I'd say survival, but have a plus 20. This is to try and light it quickly.
Plus 20? Yeah, okay.
You're striking a match. You're not trying to do rocket science. Okay, you're able to quickly strike up a torch and get a little bit better vision. Bearing in mind, if you're doing this, which hand, what do you have in each hand?
Shield in one, well, kind of...
Shield and torch.
So shield and torch, yes.
Okay, shield and torch. Okay. Right, what I'll do is it won't increase your visual range much, but it gives you clearer range of what you've got.
That's fine.
So, with that, you see a dark shadow step out of the fog in front of you. Reach forward and attempt to grab you.
From which direction?
From the one you just ran away from.
Okay.
Right, and we're going to roll one of these, and we're going to roll one of these. So, you can roll your defense.
Okay, you being me?
Yes, you can... yes, sorry, Oleg. You're the one holding a torch right now, so you kind of stick out a little bit.
That's fine. So that's going to be at a difficult, because of red clap.
Okay, -4, minus... that will actually be -3 because the shield, because I hadn't moved turn fast enough. So, add -3, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 damage modified by your armor and toughness.
Okay, so that's going to be 4 to 1. So, I'm sorry, how much again? 10?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll take 3.
Okay. Okay, 3 damage. Okay. Right. It is Grimvald to go. Grimvald, currently unconscious. Are you doing anything else other than being unconscious?
I'm just ZZZZZ.
You're ZZZZZ. Okay, Shauna, it's you to go.
Yeah, I continue to try and carry Grim back.
You keep dragging. Which direction are you looking while you're dragging him?
Going back on the bottom deck.
So you're looking at where you're going, not where you're coming from, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're dragging him kind of along by your side, having a look. You drag Grimvald all the way over to here. And please make me a terror test. Which is a cool test, basically.
Yeah. Just a sec. Modifiers?
No mods. Marginal fail! That's still 3 broken conditions.
Really? I'm gonna reroll.
Okay, you can reroll.
Now score of 50-something.
+4.
Oh, well done. Okay. You see a visage of a woman in front of you. She looks like a ghost you've heard from tales and stories, but hair red, bright, as if it's sort of burning. She reaches out towards you with her hand and does not touch.
Okay.
This is basically not her action, just a little bit of extra fluff. Let's roll her in the initiative order now. Marvellous. And it is Hymo to go. I'll say because you were dragging Grimvald, though, you don't take an action.
Okay, that's fair.
Right, Hymo.
Okay. So I can still only see in the one square in front of me, basically.
You can see some things move towards Oleg and has grabbed him, and he's let out a scream of pain.
From which direction?
From northeast. So the other side of Oleg.
Okay, I have my weapon readied from last turn.
Yep.
I'm going to move up to here.
Yep.
Still can't see it, I guess.
So it's there. Can you see the token?
No, I can't.
Boop.
There it is.
Now I can see it.
Apologies. Apologies.
No, it's all good. I raised my blunderbuss and I fire.
Okay. It's point blank. You're in melee. So what this basically means is if we go over to your blunderbuss here, we look at its range of 20 yards. It's going to have a +40 normally, but it'll be +20 to avoid hitting OLED.
Okay.
And it has blast 4. So I'll say, though, even though it has blast 4, it makes no sense for it to be a grenade at your feet. So you'll be aiming it in a conal. So as long as you take the -20, you won't hit Oleg.
Okay. I'll take the -20 so I don't hit him.
If shooting it at range, it would basically hit everything in an area. But so it's +20 in total.
+20 in total?
Yeah.
Alrighty. +0.
Just. She will attempt to dodge out the way. She shimmies to the side.
Shimmy.
Actually, because she's engaged with someone else, I'll say no, she's not dodging. This will be unopposed. You take a shot, square towards her abdomen. Your gun, blunderbuss, lined up perfectly with her. A loud, thunderous bang comes out and a quick flash of light and a puff of smoke. You look towards her. The shot travelled straight through. She appears, she appears unscathed.
Run!
Turns her head towards you.
Curious mechanically,
Yeah.
Are you able to break up your movement? Like, if you move 5, took your action, can you continue your movement after the fact? Or is it
Typically,
like...
no. It's sort of you do your movement action.
Gotcha.
I would say
Okay,
by
yeah,
the time
I
you
figured.
moved and readied yourself, you're side by side with Oleg now.
Cool. Okay.
On the plus
I'm
side,
just gonna stay
Oleg
here in fear.
has a companion. Oleg, I don't believe we've had a terror test from you, and likewise
but-
from Haimo as well. Apologies. I forgot the 2 terror tests, so
What do I roll for that? Is that cool?
yes, a cool test.
Okay.
Rerolling.
Rerolling.
Okay, Oleg, you're standing firm.
Fuck.
Haimo, you're broken. I'll say you got the shot off just as you saw her, but now you're broken.
Gotcha. Okay.
So basically, you fired on instinct because it's not like you killed her, but you're just about to turn around and run now because, well, you've seen some stuff in your time, and even by your standards, this is fucked up.
This is fucked up, yeah.
Oleg, it's you to go.
Sure. So I'm going to swing the torch at her face.
Yep.
Ah.
Make an
Be
attack
careful.
roll.
And I believe that's just going to be normal weapon skill, right? Because it's a makeshift weapon.
Yep.
It's a torch.
Yeah, just normal weapon skill for this.
I don't know what to roll for damage, though.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So this is her defense. +3.
I get a negative
Why is she-
10. Wow, she's
Hang on.
pretty
That,
high.
yeah, that was a bit too high. So
Nice.
Even better.
why
for
is her banshee that? Why is that coming up as that's not her stats? That's a +2.
Okay.
Even better.
Fumble. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you swing and flail, trying to beat her back and scare her off. You manage to pass the torch through her a couple of times as she's reaching out toward you. And as you do, your torch jars, presumably against some of the decking by your side, and it seems to go out. Perhaps you accidentally swipe it through a puddle of water. Next round, you will act last regardless of initiative.
Fair enough.
And it's her go. She is going to, at this point...
I just want to point out I
Yep.
didn't take the outnumbered.
Ah,
bonus.
right. What would have been your bonus of +2? So you would have been -1, but it still would have been 654. So you won't have fumbled, though. Or would that just been a change your target? That would have changed your target, I think.
Just the target,
Not the
I
roll,
would've-
yeah. So still a fumble, but still not a hit. But you managed to swipe it through her once more before it's apparent that she doesn't really care about fire too much. In response, she is going to draw a deep breath. Puts her arms down by her side as if a scorned woman, furious, screaming towards you with a shrieking howl that deals 7 wounds to both of you. Not mitigated by armour.
Oh.
Not mitigated by toughness.
Wait. You said Oleg and me?
Yes, both of you. So
Like,
7 wounds apiece.
Okay.
Draws starts breathing again normally against you. Shauna, it's you to
Yeah.
go.
I'll Well, Shada's gonna try and cut a bitch.
You may do so.
Just a second. Any modifiers?
Nope. Yeah, you don't outnumber her because Grimvald's unconscious.
Yeah. -0.
Oh, her stats are appropriate. So you technically...
I have the higher number to beat.
You do indeed, so you just about hit her. I say that, you gain 1 advantage. This is the good news.
Bad news?
Your sword goes straight through... straight to the other side. She reaches her right arm out toward you, and you go to parry it away, the sword going straight through the arm. But...
Nothing happened.
she does seem to... you can see her image in front of you at this point, wear very slightly. You notice out of her clothing, little bits of fabric seem to be drifting away. She seems to be wearing as such. Her form seems to be collapsing in front of you. You're not sure how or why, but something seemed to have worked out favourably for you. Grimvald, still unconscious? What's up, buddy?
Yep.
Chilling?
Unconscious. Do I wake up? Like, do I make a roll?
I believe... I will have to double check this, because I thought it was only a resolve, but let's have a look. Where is unconscious? Okay, I've got my conditions in my compendium. Apologies, I want to double check this just because it's fairly important. And we'll go for conditions, and we'll go for unconscious down the bottom. You are knocked out, asleep, or otherwise insensible. You can do nothing your turn and completely unaware of your surroundings. Melee attacks targeted automatically hit you. Remove unconscious condition when 1 wound is healed. You may spend a resolve point to remove unconscious. However, if the cause persists, gain unconscious conditions at the end of the round. Once unconscious conditions are gone, gain prone. Apologies. You would have been prone, not unconscious, I believe. Yes, you would have been prone. You can stand up. I don't think you are unconscious. You gain...
you said prone earlier.
Oh yeah, my apologies. I just got confused between Dark Heresy and this. You don't go unconscious, you go prone when you go to 0 wounds.
And I get 1 critical wound.
You've had your critical wound, yep. So you've got your
Yeah.
bleeding condition, which you've removed. But I'll say between Shauna dragging you and now, you're up on your feet. It's your action. You are no longer prone. That is my mistake. But you are broken, however.
Yeah.
Make a
So,
cool test, I guess.
well, I would have had to make like a couple of cool tests by now.
Yeah, I'll allow you to, because you do at the end of the round. So as Shauna was dragging you away, I'll allow you a free roll now to see if you can gather
Here's
yourself.
one.
Okay, so you remove 2 of the 3 conditions. You're still broken times 1.
Okay.
And I'll allow you to make a roll at the beginning of this turn to see if you're able to.
Completely remove the broken.
Okay, you still have a broken condition, just the 1.
Okay.
It would be possible to remove it via resolve, or you can run away.
Or you can reroll, perhaps.
Or you can reroll.
Is there any way... Well, I'm gonna... Where's the hatch, by the way?
Behind her. She is stood in front of the doorway.
So she's stood in front of the doorway.
Yeah, you would
okay.
have to run through her.
So I run through her.
With a broken condition.
You want to run through her. Just
her.
from
Yeah, I mean...
Grimvald's impression thus far of being touched by her is that it hurt. So
It hurts.
if you want to run... Grimvald would know this.
Yeah, I know. he
Her
knows,
touching him nearly killed him. So if you want to run through, you can.
Would it be possible to use my move action just to... Or was it I had to make a dodge to get out of...
You can make me an agility test, if you wish, to try and get around her without touching her.
Yeah.
Minus 20. It's a doorway and she's stood in it.
Is that some ghostly music?
Yeah, so agility minus 20. I'd say on a fail you do get hit though. And you will basically, at this point, we'll be rolling another wound for you.
Okay.
We'll go with... we need to just generate a random location. So what we'll do is just roll an attack right arm. So as you're going through... crit arm. Table, crit arm. Okay, your arm is jarred in the attack. Drop whatever you're held. Okay, so you're going to take another critical wound now. So you're on 2.
Yeah.
Which
Another wound.
does mean one more... And you're dead.
This is the fate point.
But I'll say you pass through, but as you do, your right arm catches her, and doing so, you feel that again, that icicle sharp pain jam through your arm and into the side of your chest, going up towards your heart, even though it's on the left. You trip and stumble forward.
Okay, now as I'm descending, like, as I would be sort of here, I try to flash the ring that those pretty little dwarves gave me and try to turn it on.
You're prone right now. It's like the end of your round.
Okay.
That would have been basically the end of your round when you go prone. But
Okay.
you're behind her. She's facing the other way. You're at the top of the ladder. On the plus side, I haven't made you fall down it.
Yeah.
Shauna, it's you to go.
Well, I saw something, distress the ghost lady.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try and see if I can do it again.
Okay.
Just a second.
That's her defense. -6. Okay. Again, your blade swings through her. This time instead moving through her right leg. She doesn't seem to respond to the pain. Eyes locking with yours. But again, you see a portion of her in front of you peel away as her dress starts turning into the mist around you. She seems to be sort of writhing her neck at this point and seeming to be in, let's say, a degree of discomfort. Looks towards you and ready to reach. Hi Mo, you currently have some broken conditions and are about to run away. Your choices are to spend a resolve. Actually,
Yeah, I'll spend a resolve. That would get rid of the broken, right?
you can, because you have 3 conditions, a resolve can either get rid of one condition or make you immune to psychology for the turn. So what you could do is make yourself immune to all 3, do something to try and gain some advantage, and then you'll get you're at least a +10 for your test at the end of the turn to naturally overcome the terror. Basically, if you use it to remove one of the 3 conditions, you're still running away. So a bit of metagame help. She'll attack you for free as you turn to run.
Okay, what did you say the other option was? I could either
To
try and burn
ignore
one
them for the round, so you can basically choose to stand and try and fight. If you
I'm
wish.
going to...
There are pros and cons of each.
Yeah. I guess I'll try and remove one of them.
You remove one, okay. You will still be running away.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, so at that point she is going to grab you, or attempt to at least. She shouldn't have any more bonuses. That's why she was rolling on a 50. Oh, she misses, even with the +20 that I forgot. It was the advantage that was making her target 50. I'm a muppet. Right, okay. She swings toward you, and you slip out of her grasp, and you're able to basically sprint. Where would you like to sprint?
Oh, God.
Am I right in assuming the
Probably
exit?
away. Yeah, the
Okay.
exit from where I can see, but I can't see shit, and my vision is bad in general.
You-
So I'm just sort of running. You can pick a direction in which I run. I just turn and go.
Do you think it's fair that you would run towards the ladder to go back down below deck?
Yeah,
I would say you run there until you feel find Shauna fighting another one, at which point you will most likely just turn and run toward the edge of the ship and find a crate to cower behind.
Yep,
Or you
100%.
go find another one.
Oleg, it's you to go.
I actually go last this round, remember?
You are last already.
In the fumble.
Oh, no,
from the
you're
fumble?
first. Yeah,
Right.
apologies, you are correct. You are correct. The Banshee will reach out toward you once more. This time rolling on a 30 with a -5. So you might be alright for this one. Unless it really goes bad.
Let's see. It's going to be a -10. And that's my parry test for shield. Yay.
Okay. She reaches out towards you, and kind of getting the impression that physical things won't protect you that much, you use your shield to distract, but you strafe around her. And she misses. Oh, that's a 0. You gain 1 advantage. Congratulations. In front of you rather, she seems to fray slightly at the edges. Her hair starts to evaporate at the ends. Her fingertips start to turn into the mist around her. Shauna,
Aye.
prepare to be struck. With a +3. That's not too bad. You've got your 2 built in. So you are going to... Yep, you can parry with whatever you wish. You do have a shield. That +2 turns into a +3 because of your shield. And because of that... no, the SL is already included. The SL is already included for the shield this turn. 40 to 50. So that's SL1. The developers made a change, so now when it's done properly, it's automatic.
What about my advantage? Yeah.
That's also in as well. So she does hit you for 7 damage, 8 damage. That is modified by armor and toughness.
Yeah. Just a second. So that's on the body.
Yep. Removing your advantage.
Okay, that's 1, and that's 3, so that's 4 damage.
Yep.
Does it do -4 now for damage, or do I have to type it in?
You have to do the math yourself.
Yeah, you have to do all that still. Still got to do some work here.
No problem.
I'll leave you with that for a moment. Grimwald, you are currently laying prone on the floor.
Well, considering I'm laying prone, I would try to flash the dwarven ring, like, towards her, if anything happens.
Okay. You do so. You get
And if...
Do you still have your broken conditions?
Yeah. so
You're
that's more
running.
like it. Well,
You're...
You have 1 broken condition, you can roll a
Yeah.
cool test.
Sure. Yep. Test at the beginning. Afraid,
I just go
Grimwald.
down.
Yeah. So just crawl down the ladder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You crawl down the ladder, heading towards safety. Shauna, it's you to go.
Cut the pitch.
Okay. Make an attack.
Damn it.
She slips to the side around you, avoiding your blade this time. Despite the fact your blade's travelling through her, she seems to be hesitant to get hit by it. Hymo, you can make me a cool test if you like to try and recover from the psychology.
I would love to. I definitely.
You are not going anywhere.
I'm
You've
shitting my pants right now.
Yeah, you have found a crate to hide behind, and you are just there with, like, your fingers in your ears, just rocking back and forth, waiting for it all to end. Oleg, it's you to go.
Here's a question. Does this mean I go twice
You go
in a row
twice,
now?
yeah, you go twice in a row. So let's have the first go. OP
Okay.
Oleg, let's go.
So the first go will be just swinging the torch like a madman again.
Yep.
10.
Oh my god, these rolls.
Oof. Okay. So Banshee wins that one.
Banshee wins that one, removing your advantage. Gaining her
And
1.
The second roll is going to be a non-roll. Can I do like a defensive stance?
Yep, plus 20 to defend. That will be your action
Yeah.
for the turn.
Yeah, and that's where I'll end it.
Plus 20 to defend. Okay, sure. And that will be Banshee number 1 to go. So speak of the devil. She attacks. Not too bad.
Going to
Tiny bit of a fail, but you get your plus 20 here.
just plus 10 actually because of rat clap.
Ah, yes. Well done. Well done for remembering that.
So modifier.
Please pass.
Oof.
Okay.
Nope.
10 wounds, modified by armor toughness.
So it's going to be 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay. And that will be another advantage for her. Oh dear. Right. Banshee number 2 is... Oh dear. Okay. Grimwald, you are downstairs at this point. Towards you, Shauna. The Banshee draws in a large portion of air.
Okay.
Dealing 10 wounds to you. Not
What does that mean?
mitigated by armor. Not mitigated by toughness. It means you're reduced to 0. Hello. Can you still hear?
Yeah, I can hear now. What happened?
You've been hit. It's done 10 wounds. She's screamed at you in your direction.
Minus toughness?
You are, no, not modified by anything. It is...
Well, I'm at 0.
You are at 0, which means I think it's only when you go minus, but I want to double check that for you.
Okay, that's fine.
I was fairly sure, but... Healing critical wounds... I want to double check that because I don't want to do anything too unfair here. Runes, critical wounds, 1 death, 172. Okay, risk death, wounds. If you take enough damage, you are taken to negatively wound. Nope, you're okay, because you're on 0. You are just on 0, though. Okay. Congratulations, you are alive. Just. Grimwald, you are downstairs. You can make a terror test. You can make a cool check with plus 20. Because you are now somewhere you perceive to be safe. Actually, Grimwald. No, first the test. First the test.
Well,
Okay.
there's the test 0.
Okay.
0.
You start running, and as you run, you notice you're downstairs now by the priests who are praying, and even as you're running, make a perception test for me.
Shit. Let me scroll down.
Hey, my internet yelled for a second. I'll put on some 3G from my phone, but first I need to find the Wi-Fi adapter so I can put it. It'll be 5 minutes.
No problem.
Maybe
No problem.
Plus 3 on the perception.
Okay. Grimwald, as you begin to move away, you notice out of the 2 priests that are praying by the body, one of them seems to have gotten bored and has stopped, the usual cheerful one that you're familiar with earlier. The other, you notice his eyes glazed over and appear to be white as he is praying toward this body, and you notice the mist seems to be moving around him in a particularly peculiar way.
Huh.
And that's your turn, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Yes, because basically you started running, which was your movement, and that's, I'm afraid that's being broken. But hang in there, guys. Shauna is not here. Let's pause it for her.
What did I miss? Can I get a quick recap?
Quick recap, Shauna, is that Grimwald has gone downstairs and he's failed to recover himself, but while being there he's noticed that out of the 2 priests, one of them is praying with his eyes glazed over white and the air is swirling around him. That seems to be slightly out of the ordinary, but Grimwald is currently sort of cowering and trying to gather himself, and the other is not partaking in the particular activity. He's in actual fact, Grimwald, he is say sat down with his hood up, arms crossed. You can't really see what he's doing, but you assume he's fallen asleep. but you don't have any more vision on him than that. And it's your go, Shauna.
What happened to me? Am I prone?
You're alive. You're alive. Kind of. You're on 0, so you're okay.
Okay, so what are my options considering I'm at 0? I'm probably prone or on the ground or something.
No, it's only when you go minus, so you're all right. You're all right. You're still standing and still fighting. You're just currently in an excruciating amount of pain from where this creature has touched you.
So, would I, without breaking contact, be able to flank her from here? Or at least move over here?
Afraid not. Because she's completely focused on you. What you can do is make an opposed weapon skill test to see if you can reposition her the other side of you by trying to sort of parry around, but you won't then be able to move away without her getting to attack for free.
Yeah. But, well, whatever I do, she gets a free attack, and I can't really kill her from...
Actually, meta speaking here, just because it's helpful if you know the rules, you could do that opposed check, which would gain you 1 advantage if you win it, and you can use an advantage to disengage for free without an attack of opportunity. So if you win that, you could swap her with you and then jump down the ladder, and
Okay. I can try
that would be an option. It's an
So
opposed
do I-
test, so just a weapon skill test.
Yeah.
-4 for the Banshee. Okay.
+3.
So in a moment of pure cunning, you pretend that you're about to do a mighty blow down on her. She shifts to the side. You quickly step through. The ladder's in front of you. You've gained 1 advantage, so now you can disengage.
Yeah. Complete action disengage.
Yeah, that might be bending the rules a little bit to do it all in 1 turn, but I'm happy with it.
Well, I mean, I can stand here for a turn. It doesn't matter. I'll just go next turn.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
You technically still have movement, so it's all done in 1 fluid action. You
Okay.
haven't used any movement yet. So, Haimo, let's have a cool test from you. I'll give you +10
Yes.
because you are hiding somewhere, but you're not particularly safe. Oh, wow. So you actually remove all of these conditions,
Oh.
and you're back. However, that's your action for the round to recover. So,
Don't worry, I am here.
okay.
And
So,
I still kind of crouch back behind because even though I'm feeling okay, I'm still a little spooked out.
Oleg, it's you to go. Microphone?
I can't
Dang
hear
it,
it.
sorry. Defensive stance, and that's gonna be it. So,
Defensive stance, roger, roger.
and
I will offer you as a little bit of meta that she is currently drawing in air to scream.
oh, she is, huh?
Yeah, I'll offer you that because Oleg will see it in front of him.
Yeah, but he doesn't really know how to stop it other than, I guess, taking a swing at her with... the torch went out, right?
The torch is out,
Agreed on?
but it's
Yeah,
still in your hand. Like,
It's still like a club. Now, could he drop that and take his boat hook out and swing it as an action?
I'd say no, but
No. Okay, then.
so you're
just
basically
take a
clubbing
normal
her,
swing.
clubbing banshees. +1.
-10.
Oh, that was huge! That was so huge! That was so huge! So you strip her advantage, which means she can no longer scream in your direction. How the hell a critical to an ethereal creature works, I don't exactly know, but we will make it work.
Yeah, screw those ribs.
She does. Whatever you did, as she's drawing in air, you manage to put her off of her stance, off of her guard, and she seems to lose a chunk of her portion at this point. She looks towards her left hand, fingertips slowly eroding into the mist. And she has the broken bone minor injury. Okay, well, we'll see it.
Well,
She's
what
technically...
they were supposed to do.
She's technically stunned, so what I'm going to say is, as you swiped her, knocking her off balance as she's about to scream, she starts spinning on the spot, and you seem to have sent her into some form of spiraling tornado-style You don't know what's going on right now. It's scary as hell and it looks really weird. She's stunned. She's going to roll an endurance test to break out. She breaks out, so she'll be acting again normally on her next turn. What a roll. And this Banshee... not going to actually see what she's doing right now, but for the viewers, she sinks through the floorboards.
Oh boy.
Sinks through the floorboards, and in front of you, Shauna, and Grimvald, you see her travel through one of the priests and down into the waters beneath. The priest that was laying down on the floor. His body quickly judders as it happens, and she disappears. You don't know what's happened. Grimvald, you can make that test again if you like.
With a plus 20 or?
Plus 20. Plus 30 because you've now got Shauna there with you as well, and she's now hand-holding
I'm holding
you.
your hand.
Yep,
Since
there you
when
go.
has Shauna been comforting?
So you remove the
Never.
condition.
Okay.
You are free to act. In front of you is one priest praying with white eyes that, let's say, don't look particularly normal.
I go over and I ask him, like,
Slap the shit out of him.
is your Buddha okay to the one that's on the floor? It seems uninterested.
He doesn't
AKA more
respond.
friendly.
He doesn't respond.
Okay.
He's still there praying. His hands at this point are down by his side, palms open, his head pointing towards the ceiling, his jaw open almost fully. And as you go there, the words coming out of his mouth don't seem to be due to his mouth moving.
Okay.
Okay? Something is speaking out of him, if that is not, just to make sure
Yeah.
it's obvious. You have
I'm
an
gonna
action.
bonk him on the head.
Bonk him on the head. Make a... He's not moving right now. Make a strength test just to see how hard you bonk him. And what are you bonking him with?
Well, considering I left the ornate mace up top, considering I dropped it, I still have the other mace, which is much more bulkier,
Yep, go for it.
which is the same. Any bonuses? Oh no, wait, you just said
yeah,
strength.
it's just... tell me what the... strength test just to see how much damage you do.
Roll.
Kills him immediately.
Yeah, like you're bashing someone that's just kind of sat there. So yes, you managed to clock him round the side of the head with a pretty decent swing. You
he
hear a
stop?
snap. You're pretty sure you've just broken something, and he falls to the floor, lifeless. Meanwhile, up top, Oleg, you're bracing yourself right now. In front of you is a twirling creature, woman, a ghost. You're not exactly sure what she is. But out, all of a sudden, you see her start to be raised up into the air. Not as if intentional, but as if she's being dragged by the feet. She claws towards you as if she's being dragged away. And disappears into the mist.
Oleg sags in relief.
Still safer than a coach.
Grimvald? The air and mist in the room seems to settle. Hymo? The sound of, well, whatever these things are, seems to have subsided for a second.
Does the battle music stop?
The battle music does stop.
Do the spooky sounds too?
We'll stop the demons. We'll stop the ghosts.
As it stopped, I'm going to still stay crouched here just in case, and I'm going to start reloading my blunderbuss. I'm still not moving for the time being.
Okay. Okay.
I suggest to Grim that we tie up the brothers, even though they're both unconscious. You never know what's gonna happen when they wake up.
Exactly my point.
I'm going to
Shona,
load
you're great
the
with ideas.
lower map now.
Okay.
I go quickly and pick up my normal mace, usual mace.
Okay. You go back
I
up.
go check on. No, I'm gonna keep guard on the boys, on the twins.
Okay.
There's the captain.
He's
Out of
supposed
the
to be-
captain's cabin, as you go to pick your mace up, the door unbolts. Ahoy there. See, you fancied your luck against a banshee. Can't exactly say I would be that brave myself, but you put up quite the show. I was watching eagerly and rooting for you the whole
give
time.
us a discount after this, huh?
Maybe a couple of extra experience points.
I tell you what, after that I think you've probably earned yourself a drink. He looks at you and his expression is like, what the hell just happened? I've seen a few things in my time, but that'll be right up there. Let's go here and get ourselves a drink, shall we?
Sounds good.
Aye. At least that'll be a story to tell people.
Didn't feel as nice as the last time a woman forced herself on me, though.
Did you get he engages you in some conversation of what they look like, what were they, did they say anything to you? He wants all the details, even though he's like shaking and curious at the same time.
Well, you see, the first time it was a mercenary with one eye, and she forced herself on me at gunpoint. And then tonight, she had the red hair, and the clothing was high class. But you see, her excuse me, I'm a bit sick too.
Halfway through a bottle of brandy by now. Glug.
Actually, I actually never heard them say anything but scream, so it's much like normal, actually.
Aye. He looks at you for a second, just like...
Oleg just keeps babbling.
What's wrong with you? And just starts drinking again. Where did you go off to, Haimo? Did you gather yourself?
Yeah, I would have finished loading my blunderbuss and head back downstairs, or down to the lower deck.
Okay. So you're greeted. There is one old man in the chair and one old man on the floor with what looks like a broken neck. His face.
Kind of watching over them, though.
Okay, Shauna, the one in the chair. Are you having a look at him to see if he's sleeping or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not sleeping. He's dead.
Dead?
As you look to him, you see his face has visibly aged, perhaps another 50 years. He doesn't look like an elderly man now. He looks like a corpse. And the corpse on the floor in front of you as well, with the question marks on him, has also aged to the point of being an incredibly old man. Curiously, the one that has a broken neck looks remarkably younger.
They're identical twins. We can't tell each other apart. Which one?
Well, you can now.
Yeah, but
Yes,
my point
yeah,
is
you
we could
wouldn't
lie
know.
about which brother here.
Yeah, you wouldn't be sure which one was which. I'd say make an intelligence test.
Okay. I didn't really have any conversation with them.
Yeah.
The others did.
Ah, okay. So anyone else who's talked to them, make an intelligence test.
Hey, Bruder, was his Bruder his father?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Could have been the grandfather.
Shauna doesn't know which one's which.
You said intelligence check.
Yeah.
We can tell basically, would it be easier or...
Yeah, why is Roko gonna be sleeping during all the gleeping glooping?
Especially when we face apparently banshees. And he is
He would have been useful with mumbo jumbo.
Oleg, you notice at least that the corpse that is currently down sleeping has a little bit of a smile left on its face. You're pretty sure that would be Harold, the smilier of the two. The one that is now several years younger looking is most likely the one who was grumpy and miserable.
He's so young but so angry.
Much like Grim.
So, I was up there with the gleeping lady, and she was glooping at me, but then she went bye-byes. So what happened?
I think Grim knocking this guy out had something to do with it. His eyes were white and unnatural.
Yeah,
He seemed to be praying to something.
Yeah, and he was basically saying things, and I thought to myself that is not normal, so I bonked him on the head a little bit too hard. A shame.
He deserved that.
At this point, the halflings come to investigate as well. Does the heads normally turn that much?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially when you think of riding on coaches.
Cool, looks a lot younger. I reckon he's probably had something nice to eat. Maybe it was a brandy. I'll go get some.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So the captain is alive, which is good news for, I guess, the crew, and bad news for us. We don't get the boat.
I mean,
Is
he might offer us rides for free, considering, you know.
Hey, at least a drink.
Oh yeah, at least a drink, yeah.
Now
Well-
the question is, which one of these brothers stole my knife and stabbed the big guy?
well probably the one that's still alive. I'd say, and looking marvelously younger.
Aren't they both dead?
No,
The old guys.
the
Yeah.
old guys are dead. The young guy
Yeah.
that was chanting is alive.
Oh no, his neck was broken.
Ah, sorry.
Yeah. What? He's a lot younger looking now though.
Mm.
So he's got a nicer looking corpse. The other one has aged dramatically, but also dead.
So about all we know is somebody foamed to death, somebody
Was
aged to
that
death, somebody Bogen knocked to the death, and somebody stabbed to the death.
Aye.
Yep.
We should probably check on Rogel and the rich lady.
That's a good idea.
Are you
Good
doing
idea.
the bodies there? Have you done anything with them, or are you leaving them to lay? Or
I think it would be wise to just throw them out.
okay,
I think we should look them
And-
first.
Yeah, and loot them first.
Okay.
Let's not forget that.
okay.
I would probably know what to do with corpses on the river, being a devout of Bogenar and also having a river guide thing, right?
It wouldn't be unusual to just throw them overboard, but for those that are a little more classy, you might prepare them and bring them back to land, bury them on the banks. But it certainly among seafaring folk wouldn't be unusual to just toss them overboard.
Before we do anything with the corpses, I have to get my voice.
Maybe we should let the Romilda know the money. So she said something about wanting them alive or dead, and maybe we get paid for these guys, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Okay. While briefly looking through the bodies, the only thing you find of curiosity is 10 silver, and you find a letter on Humbert.
What does it say?
Yeah, what does it
Rogel's
say?
sleeping.
Well, if only one of you guys could read.
Yeah.
Oh,
None of you can
Early.
read.
Wait,
Can
can
Heimel read?
Heimos read?
No,
I wish.
you don't
Can we
know.
wait
It's
to
a
Rogel
skill.
up?
The captain could probably read.
I
Can
put
I
in the
read?
10 silver on myself.
Does Jaime have read and write?
I thought I was like artistic.
You are in drawing, but reading and writing is a specific talent in this.
You scribble in a notebook.
So you could
do really
draw
pretty scribbles.
you could draw me
Draw
naked,
some
but
really nice pictures.
Stick for
unfortunately,
your horses.
Give me half of the silver.
okay.
Were there any holy symbols?
Later.
Yes, they each had a necklace, but it looks like a necklace of more. It doesn't look particularly out of the ordinary.
Oleg wouldn't know the symbol of more anyways.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like a symbol.
I give Shauna 2 silver.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
10 in total, 5 on each.
Yeah. So I give Shauna 2, I give Oleg 2, and I give 2 for, though he should be paying, Haimo 2.
Thank you.
And, 2,
Also, keep 1 silver from me because I owe you 1 from paying for this boat.
okay.
Okay.
And
So
I give 2 to, well, I basically shove him in his pocket to
That's fine.
Rowell.
okay. Are you waking Rogel to read the letter?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. You're able to wake him. By now it's still maybe 5:30 in the morning, very early. The sun is starting to... He'll probably be up in an hour, you'd expect. Rogel is able to help you with the letter and guide you through some of the words. He's not particularly happy to be woken up, but It is a invitation for him to, or a request for him to meet at the Rugbrodder residence of Bogen.
My interest is very peaked right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is Romilda alive, and is she sleeping?
She's at the table, currently laying down sleeping. Oh, and who went to check on the body of Rogel?
I was heading back there to check.
Okay. As you go to do so, you presumably will not miss that Brutus has another dagger in him.
Okay, so I go in through. I spot the dagger. Yes, you should come see this.
This one's in the back of his skull.
Just to make sure that he's really, really,
Yeah.
gone.
And I still hope Romilda says that he's fine.
Yeah.
First
Pull through.
First glances, Jaimo, this dagger is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It is slender
Ornate.
and slightly curved. The blade goes off at a slight angle, sort of a wispy effect, and the hilt is decorative and delicate. The whole thing is lighter than normal construction, but the blade's still very sharp. It's not something you've ever seen before.
This is quite peculiar.
Does it have any special engravings in the handle?
Nothing that I can make out.
Do you have evaluate, Jaimo?
I have some evaluate. I'll
I
check
have
what-
evaluate 2.
I do have evaluate, yep.
If you roll me an evaluate, I'll let you know what I know. It's mainly to gauge cost, but we'll use it to see if we'll make sense. I won't give you too much.
Can I roll as well?
Yeah, you can roll.
Without any initiative, I presume.
Yep.
Advantage for pardon.
So
Possible. Don't you think it's quite no one else on board this ship is put off by us this?
the only thing that you can tell Grimvold is you don't think it's from the Empire. You don't think it's. You're pretty sure it's not human design.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the only thing you'd be fairly confident of. This doesn't look like anything that would be made within the Empire. You wouldn't know where it's from, though, or any further information.
Can I
What should
take
we
it
do?
and keep it somewhere in my backpack?
Yeah, you can keep it.
Yeah, I take it then. We might be able to find someone who knows. Maybe Rogel will know eventually when he gets less cranky.
And where did she go?
Who?
Charis. What's everyone up to right now?
I am currently contemplating life, considering I've
Okay.
been...
Probably starting to nod off. Fairly sleepy.
Yep.
Yeah, Oleg's passed out at their table now.
I probably pass out in this back room. Take a seat, lean
Okay.
up against the wall, and nod off.
Romilda's asleep at the moment. Are you just sleeping next to her, Grimvold, or are you going to bed somewhere?
Bed.
Bed.
Near the body.
Just going to go lay down. Okay. And Oleg, what are you up to?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Well, everybody's going to bed. I guess Oleg has to try and stay up.
I'm gonna stay up. I'm not gonna go to
Okay.
bed.
Shauna, were you talking to Romilda?
I was gonna wait for her to wake up at some point. I
Okay.
wasn't gonna actually plan on waking her up.
Okay. Occasionally she stirs a little bit in sleep. Charis doesn't particularly seem to bother. She just sort of sits opposite, twiddling her thumbs and swinging her feet back and forth. Seems to be oddly cheerful, but slightly drunk on brandy as well. She occasionally hiccups. Romilda eventually realises that you're sat not too far away and seemingly looking at her. What is it? Did you find him?
Well, we found a few things. I was hoping we could chat.
Right.
The two brothers, the old ones, were chanting something, or at least one of them was, and two banshees appeared on this boat, killed half of the crew from upstairs.
Banshee.
They barely...
I've heard stories about them when I was young. You really saw one?
Yeah.
Make
I
a
almost got killed by one.
make a charm test.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't need to. She's just going to roll. Yeah, she believes you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're alive, I see. You barely. Look at you.
I've had a rough few days.
Well, any sign of who? What do you know? Do you think the old men did that to Brutus?
One of them. The other thing was when we came back, because we were all fighting on the deck above, there was another dagger in Brutus's skull.
Right.
So it's either them or someone's using them as bait.
Oh dear.
Or it's unrelated.
Yeah.
So we're not a lot closer, really, are we? But well, thank you for keeping us safe while I sleep. It's I've had the most peculiar dreams. Well, I don't know what to make of all this. I'm going to sleep, and perhaps if one of you is still alive, we can talk in the morning about... Well, I'm down a champion, and if you can deal with banshees, then perhaps you would like to fight for me. But I think a little sleep first, if you do not mind.
Of course. I have some more questions for you when you wake up.
It's no bother. And right. So now we'll fast forward through time a little bit. A good night's sleep is had by everyone. The mist over the next hour gradually clears, and the crew return to work. Those that did wake up during the night simply cowered in place, and they spend perhaps the first hour or two of the day exchanging stories up top. You can hear the captain bellowing out the tale of the two banshees which attacked the ship, which he valiantly fought off.
Of course.
And scared off with his pistol. Aside from that, Romilda wakes and is happy to travel with you or even meet you in Altdorf at some point. She has about 5 days until her trial. She's looking for a champion and happy to hire someone. It will mean a pit fight to the death against another nobleman's champion, but she's happy to allow you to, or pay for a bit of training for the foreseeable, basically until then. So 1 week's worth of training as a duelist would be available, or a career change to duelist, but you will be fighting to the death against a proper duelist. Romilda, she... am I assuming you ask her about the noble families?
Yeah, the noble families, why she's being betrayed by them, and does she know about the Rook brothers and this certain invitation? So
her story in particular is not that a betrayal from Bogenhafen, but she has been betrayed by one of the noble families of Morlenfurt. But she is familiar with the families of Bogenhafen, and she mixes in the circles. She knows them all by first name. They know her. She is of the same social class. It's unusual for her to be travelling, but she wanted to keep this low-key. She didn't want a big audience travelling with for this trial, but nevertheless she did want to deal with the matter, and doing so by combat was the only way to do so. Should you wish, she could get you access to jobs within the households if you wish. She could probably see to it that if they need any maids, she would be happy to give you recommendation, or any functions that they're going to. She could probably get you an invite, provided you could fit in.
Well, would the nice clothes be
Yes.
useful for fitting in?
Yes. You may need to have a brush up on etiquette, but she will be willing to...
I have nobleman's etiquette.
Ah, well, there you go. So you would be fine to blend in, and she says that sort of she'll be in touch should anything happen. But for now, the rest of you will be travelling with. The rest of the ship, not much occurs during the morning. Another shipment of crates is brought aboard. The next day is a little bit crisper and cleaner, the sky a little bit bluer, and you make your way sailing back to Bogenhafen. That's where we'll end the session today.
All right. Thank you.